I want to welcome all visitors back to 3T's, where we tell the truth. So help us, Yah. So help us, universe. So help us, spiritual family. There is a lot going on. And you know 3T's is always sharing love and knowledge. So that's what my videos are all about. Sharing love and knowledge. This information is only for those who have eyes to see and ears to hear. Because there's a lot of people out in this world who do not have that. I don't know what's inside of them, but they don't have eyes to see, they don't have ears to hear, and the rest of them just totally rejects knowledge. So that is one issue with the world. But I'm not here to force nobody to think like I do, see things the way I see them, because I know they can't. It has to be a willing effort. So that's the only way you're going to figure things out that you don't understand, is by your own efforts. Just like it took me to, I've always saw the truth. I did not understand all things though. Even though I saw many things and heard many things and didn't agree with many things, I still did not understand totally until I started seeking the truth in depth. So I want to say before I begin, if you're a person who dismiss, deny, rejects, try to shadow the truth, then this is not for you. This is for people who are really seeking truth. And I'm, someone who likes to seek truth. There's more knowledge to find and there's more knowledge to gain, because there's so much that is not being told, that's been hidden, and they're still trying to hide it. Those who are empowered and have been empowered for many centuries now are hiding a lot of knowledge and truth and the reality of this world from majority of the world. So let's get into it. All praises be to the eternal creator. Sending glory, love, and light to all my people out there in the world. I know the challenges that we have faced. I know personally, and I know from learning what has happened to our people in the past. And I also know because the spirits is enlightening me to cause me to search deeper for more knowledge, the right knowledge. So I got some thing to show you today, so I'm gonna get right into it so I don't delay any time, because time is precious. And I really just want to make you think. So this is 3T's sharing her love and knowledge, because you know we tell the truth on this channel to the best of our ability. Now the truth, you have to understand, understand, overstand that the truth comes in, is undeniable, and a lot of it's been hidden, so I'm going to explain more of that as I go along in my videos. Now, some people minds are not there, so they don't know how to think outside the box. So they gave us, all our people in Africa and all over the world, they went to every land, a part of this land, because it was one world. It wasn't all separate, it was attached. And because of the destruction that happened in the past, created all these different islands, and which became continents, which became states and cities and all of that, as you can think of. They came and brought a book to us. The knowledge was embedded in us because we were spiritual people. So the knowledge, the right knowledge, the right mindset that we had at that time, the right inner and overstanding, the right wisdom, which gave us the right reasoning, was in us already. So when the Caucasoids came through, and there's many types of Caucasoids, and the hybrids or half-breeds that came through brought some book that they altered to use to brainwash our people. So I'm not going to get deeper into that topic or that point in this video, but I just want to start off there because this video has meaning to what I just said. How they came, they traded our land, deceived our people somehow, which they're still using the same tactics and methods today, tricked the minds of our people, gave them a book, and took our land and everything on it. And we had nothing but a book. So it's time for our people to wake up and accept the reality of the life that we are presently living and get out of la la land. You know, let's get into why they murder white people and black people who tell the truth. So, or why they try to disgrace us, why they try to lie on us and say that we're losing our minds because we are learning the truth or the right knowledge. Let's get into some of that reason. So all my videos explain why, but let me get more, and I'm trying to get to the point where I can start elaborating more in detail about everything that I've already spoken over the last 2 years. So this video, let's get into it. So now, before I begin, I just want to let all the visitors know that this is not for people who want to criticize, who want to project negative comments, who want to judge me as being negative or delusional. This series or all my videos are only for those people in the world who have eyes to see and ears to hear, even though I would like for those who don't have eyes to see and ears to hear, I want them to come on board and to listen so it can spark that sleeping cell and awaken you to the truth and the reality of the life that we're living. But if you prefer to stay on the blue pill and go back to sleep, then so be it. Let that be your will. You have a choice. We all have a free will to choose to go to sleep or to wake up. So if you want to know more, then follow the rabbit hole. That's where my videos go, down the rabbit hole. So today the topic is called Aboriginals of America. Now, in the beginning, their people were titled or called Melanites or Ebonite people, as far as skin color was concerned. And they came in many shades: red, yellow, brown, dark blue, green, black, lighter brown, like a tan, like different shades of all these colors. So the range of the colors went up the scale. So even if it was a black person, the black shade could be really dark, pitch black, lighter black, off black. Like it has so many different shades to it, but they were all melanated people or ebonites. Now, the so-called African American are the people here in America. We are the only people, the original so-called African American, have lost connection with our past. Now, our kinfolk, the Africans, are fully aware who they are, where they came from, their bloodline, or as far as they can go back. Even in Africa, some of our people who are still in Africa are not, they don't know their history. And even in other parts of the world, in Europe, in Russia, in Asia, like some people know their past, some people don't. But the Negro in all these places do not know their past, because we have been lied and deceived to believe that we're all these different things, that we are the black people, the colored people, a Negro, we're Indian, we're Jews, we're Africans, we're all these things, but who we really were, the Ebonite people. Now, how did we get these individual distinctive names such as Indians, Africans, it depends on the land where our people ventured off to and colonized. We went off and sailed the seas, and we came to new lands. So all this happened after the Ice Age. So let's get into this. Just to let you know, this is only one of the top secret and confidential records or knowledge that the Caucasoids have been trying to keep from the American black people. They don't want us to know who we are and where we come from. They don't want you to know their history as a secret as well. So let's get into it. What is an Aboriginal? Let's get it from their perspective. So this is not my opinion. I'm giving you the opinion of what has been recorded. So let's go. Let's go. So the first thing I want everyone to know, if you don't know already, because I'm pretty sure you're wise enough to know already, what is an Aboriginal? Well, according to the Noah's, Noah from the Bible, Noah's Webster, and other 1828 dictionaries, an Aboriginal is, we're only going to go to the main point of Aboriginal. The Aboriginal is the first. So number one, the first or original or primitive or Aboriginal people are the first inhabitants of a country. So let's go to America now. So we're defining Aboriginal and American. Now, in the same dictionary, I found American. Now, it says an American is a native of America. Originally applied, so anyone born in America is American. But they said before it became just someone who is a native of America, it was originally applied to the Aboriginals or coppered colored races found here by the Europeans. But now it applies to the descendants of Europeans born in America. So it used to be the copper colored races that they found here when they came. So they're saying that Columbus discovered America, a white man who they claim, well, I found out he was supposed to have been of African descent anyway, but I'm not going to get into that. But the copper colored races are the Aboriginal people of America, the land we are on right now. So I'm in America, so I can't speak for we, but the people who are here in America, who are from America, their bloodline stretches back in America, were originally the copper colored races. Now, who are those copper colored races? Like I said, I'm going to let people outside of my opinion give you their definition of the copper color races. So before I go on to that, it's not that people don't want to hear the truth. They just don't want to hear it coming from you. Now, this is what Dave Chappelle said in one of his comic stands, and he was not speaking anything that wasn't right. Black people have a tendency to not want to hear any truth when it comes from another black person. And if a white person tells them the truth, they believe it. Now, why is that? You have to know that there is a reason this is happening. It's not because just because our people don't want to believe what another black person say. But the truth is, like I've been mentioning in my previous video, Zombie Apocalypse, they have brainwashed our people. This is why they believe or think that way. They're brainwashed. Anytime our people don't want to listen to another black person who's speaking the truth to you, because the truth is in you. So if a person, whether they're black or Caucasian or Asian or Spanish, if they're telling you the truth, it should be recognized because the truth is in you. But that shows you that the truth has been lost in our people, and they are brainwashed to believe anything that an outside race tells them without thinking twice. But you know something? The way our people think, they believe if it ain't white, it ain't right. But I want to let you know right now, oh, how wrong you have been. Black man and black woman who think that way. You are so far from sound reasoning if you think that, because the truth can come from anybody. It can come from Caucasians, but there's a lot of lies that come from all these other nations around us as well. It's not just, they actually are hiding the truth from us. So let's see if they've mentioned this to you, since for those who believe that they tell the truth. Now, remember, the topic is Aboriginals of America. So we're focused on the Aboriginals of America. Now, in the Holy Bible, in the book of Luke, it says in chapter 12, 2 and 3. So chapter 12, the book of Luke, chapter 12, verses 2 and 3. For there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, neither hid that shall not be known. So they're saying that whatever was hidden will be brought out to the light. Therefore, whosoever ye have spoken, therefore, whatsoever ye have spoken or you have spoken in darkness shall be heard in the light. And that which ye have spoken in the ears in closets shall be proclaimed upon the housetop. Now, the reason why they say that is because back in the day, the Christians or, the Bible believers that were corrupt, they always spoke in the closet in secrecy, hiding the truth about things and going out to the people lying, telling them whatever seemed good to them to help deceive the people to execute a hidden agenda or plan. The same thing that's happening today, but it's not only the churches that are involved. Your world leaders are involved. These Caucasoids are heavily involved. And I mean Caucasoids from all nations, the Jews, the Russians, the Irish, the Germans, all these people, the Indians, the white people or Caucasoids have flooded the world with their seeds. The Indians, the Mexicans are heavily involved in deception and criminal activity, secret criminal activity, working with these satanic Caucasoids. Now, what is happening to me and millions of people in the world? The same thing that has been happening for centuries and decades. After so many years, certain amount of people are awakened on purpose to seek the truth, and because the truth is already in us, but we have to be reminded of many things, because the world has this, blinded us from the truth that was given to us long ago. So we're awakening after the 400 years of lies that, have been told. So the lies are coming to light. Like I mentioned in my music video, what I say, All this darkness is changing to light. So that's what's happening. All the darkness is changing to light. And the devils of the world, these Caucasoids and all their allies, even some of the African leadership is corrupted, who help destroy our people, all melanated people and ebonite people all across this land, to keep us asleep, because a power that lies in us causes them to fear our awakening as a whole, not as 100 people, 1,000 people, 10,000 people, but all our people waking up is a total fear for all these nations around us, especially after all they have done to us, what they continue to do to us, because what they did in the past is not the past for all the ignorant black people and other nations of this world. What they do to us is still happening till this very day. They just keep modernizing it based on the times that we're living in. And I'm going to get more into that as well. Now let's move on. So basically, the lies are coming to light. And I am a vessel for that truth. And I am proud to be a vessel for that truth. And I will keep telling that truth as long as I have breath in my body and a sound mind to give you that truth. Now, all these nations around us, especially the Caucasoids. So only the brainwashed of all these nations. Now, not everyone in every nation is brainwashed or evil, who is willing to sell their soul for these Caucasoids who are trying to keep our history hidden in the dark. Not all of the white people or these other nations are corrupt. Now, a lot of them are, especially when I'm talking about the leadership. But there are some leaders who are loyal to the truth. So they don't change because the Caucasoids want them to change, or they don't lie because the Caucasoids want them to lie. And I'm going to present that truth to you right in this video. Now, before I show you that, America tells black people to forget the past. They always, and I mentioned this before on my Facebook channel for all those who are linked to my Facebook page. I mentioned that. I posted this picture. Forget the past. They tell us forget the past. Black people, don't worry about what happened to your people and just forget about it. You move on. Get over it. But they didn't forget the Titanic that sunk in the ocean. The white Jews don't forget about the Holocaust. They don't forget about the U.S. attacks. These are all, they don't forget about the Twin Towers. Like every so many years of destruction happens to them. They don't forget. They constantly remind themselves of it. And they fuel the future by what happened in the past. But they tell us, just get over it. All the oppressions that have happened to us over these decades and centuries that has brought our people to the state of mind where we are today. Not as an entire whole, but as a majority. The people are asleep in lethargy, lost in their mind, and lost and brainwashed by the Caucasoids' lies and deception that was intended to get our people in the state of mind that they are in today. It is time for our people to truly wake up. Now, I want to play this video for you again. So remember, they raped, robbed, brainwashed, weakened, and destroyed our people. But they tell us, get over it. But they still do it today. Now, some people say it ain't no racism in America. Well, you a damn lie if you believe that, and you're brainwashed yourself, and you need to really rethink what you say if you think that there is no brainwash or no racism in this country today. And I'm from America. I'm 44 years old, and I've grew up here. and I've experienced it my entire life in America. I just did not understand the depths of the hate in this racism that is going on in this country. But what they are doing to me, I'm going to tell you when I believe now that I have been truly digging deep into when these attacks happened on my life in a way that I can see, feel, hear, and taste them. Now, let me play a little bit of my song. It's a cappella.
They robbed us of our Yah, the prime creator, stole holy things that would strongly make us, forced life of sin and abomination, bloodshed and death on all generations, created a system that would control us, lead us to ignorance that would destroy us. Yah's calling his people, time to shake us, poured out his spirit that will awake us. Vengeance and fury coming to save us. No more pain, no more tears, no more haters. New kingdom, new home, blessings abundant. Get ready, my people, Yah is on one. Telling you, telling you, telling you, telling you, telling you. I'm telling you, this world don't want us to know the truth. This is their golden rule. I'm telling you, telling you, telling you, telling you, telling you, I'm telling you. They know it, but they don't want us to. Oh, but I do. I'm telling you, telling you, telling you, telling you, telling you, I'm telling you. The world don't want us to know this truth. They live to deceive you. I'm telling you, telling you, telling you, telling you, telling you, I'm telling you. They know it, but they don't want us to. They want us to be their fools, yeah.
So they're destroying our people. They are spiritually dead right now. We don't even recognize the deception that is being used to destroy us. We don't see it. We don't hear it. Not we, but the majority. Now, the original Statue of Liberty was given to Americans, black so-called slaves, who were supposedly brought here by force. It was a black statue. Now, this where it says original is not actually the original. The actual original statue, I've seen it. I had it. All my stuff was destroyed, so I can't recover it. And now that I try to find it again, it's nowhere to be found on the internet. But I'm pretty sure it's out there somewhere. Someone has a copy of it somewhere. It actually has the black person standing up with both arms up with chains on their arms, broken chains. So it says the chains are broken. All the chains that were on them were broken. And it was a freedom statue. They changed it. By now, you should have heard the original people called, Negroes. Our history was wiped out, or what you call whited out. Our images, our statues, and our monuments, our hieroglyphs have been replaced with European and Spanish faces. Our spiritual knowledge was destroyed and replaced with religion. This was the mark, this is to mark the beginning of our destruction. So when they took our spiritual knowledge and replaced it with religion, that's when the mental death of our people began. Going over some basic things before I get to the heated stuff, so please bear with me. Now, there are parasites running the world. that have brainwashed our families with the television, the news media, the newspapers, and a corrupt education system, which was designed to destroy our people even more, with help from the America's corrupt government and their systems. Also, other nations have a hand in this as well. Now, this little Pinterest photo that I got, I like what it says because it's truth. It's the right knowledge. They lied to your grandparents, our grandparents, which means your grandparents lied to your parents, our parents. In turn, means our parents lied to us. So, and if you don't wake up to the truth, you're going to lie to your children. So, generations of passing down lies is why we're still suffering. Wake up, my people. So, the reason we're suffering is because they have got to the point where they don't have to lie to us in our faces anymore. They've already destroyed our people mentally, and we teach the same lies to our children. We don't teach them anything better that will develop them to their highest potential. Now, look at this image. This is an image I found online, and it makes sense. The original people of the Americas is what this person had classified these two individuals as. One they called an Indian, and the other one they call a Negro. Now, how ironic is that? Let's keep going. Now, since most of our people are brainwashed to believe what white people say, let's see if this face, even though he's not a white, he's an Arab, Egyptian, or let me see. Well, yeah, he was an Arab. I believe he was an Arab or Egyptian background, but either way, he was a man, I'm pretty sure, of a Caucasoid descent, but he was an Arab white person, not a Caucasoid or European Caucasoid. And he was a loyal person to himself. He was a righteous person. So he was an honest person. He spoke the truth. And in this post, is Mr. President Gamal Abdel Nasser was supposed to have stated that Jews are black. This was in 1952, before his death. He was murdered, so we can't ask him if it was true or not. And we sure hell can't believe a compulsive liar who always and continues to alter information on the internet and in books. This is what it says on the statement. He said someone wrote that the second president of the United Arab Republic, formerly president of the Republic of Egypt, the Europeans, this is what he's supposed to have said, Mr. Nasser. So Gamal Abdel Nasser was supposed to have said the Europeans claiming to be Jews are nothing more than Hebrew speaking Gentiles. The late president of Egypt, Gamal Abdel Nasser, stated on television, "You, the Jews, will never be able to live here in peace because you left here black but came back white. We cannot accept you." So this is a statement that someone created and said that this formerly president or late president of United Arab and the president of the Republic of Egypt stated before he passed away. Now, how ironic is that? He passed away after a statement like that. Now, who else passed away after making statements? Was a good man, obviously, for being an honest man, and that's a good man, a truthful man. Now, let's make it make sense by taking a look together. I have two articles I want to share with you. So let me pull my screen over here again. and show you these articles. So the first article is an article I posted to my Facebook page that stated that Hitler said he would be the reason for World War III because, oh, let me plug in because they're trying to kill my battery. Hitler stated that in his death, there he would be the one to cause World War III to occur. Now, why did he say that? Because, let me read this to you really quickly. Let me pull it over. Hitler said even in his death he would start World War III. And one of his soldiers asked, how? And he replied, the day mankind finds out what I was trying to defend this nation, Germany, from, then that's the day World War III will start. For on that day, mankind will learn that I was trying to save my nations from the Freemasons, the Illuminati, the Jews. For if Americans wins the war, they will conquer the world and forever be a slave to the Jews. And they will try to conquer God. Do you know who America has in its possessions? No, the soldier replied. Hitler said, the Americans have the jewels of God. The Americans have stolen God's precious jewels. And the soldier replied, what do you mean his precious jewels? The soldier asked. Then Hitler said, oops, sorry. How ironic, yeah. Not want to start messing up when I'm telling this part. Sorry about that. Oops, I went too far up. It went too far. Sorry about that. So he said, America has stolen, I'm right here, the American has stolen the jewels, God's precious jewels. He said, what do you mean his precious jewels? The soldier asked. And Hitler said, America has stolen the Jews of God, his jewelry, the Negroes. They are the true Hebrews. What a foolish move and a direct challenge to God. And they plan on moving these false white Jews into a state of Israel, where they are right now. And America is desperate. They are desperate in its attempt to win this war using atom bombs on Japan. America will destroy the whole world in its attempt to conquer it. Now, those atom bombs, before I finish, those atom bombs caused the spiritual world, the extraterrestrials, to surface as well. We'll get into that later too. So when that war happened around, I think it was in the 50s or the 60s, when they set off that atomic bomb. And when they did that, they awakened our spiritual or extraterrestrial family that was way off, but on this earth as well. There's a lot going on that people are not aware of, but this is the season for truth to be revealed, and it will be to my people by all means. And there's millions of us out here sharing it. Now, they said America will destroy the whole world in its attempt to conquer it. And that's exactly what they've been doing. Now, when America, its Jewish slave masters conquered, when America, its Jewish slave masters conquered the world, and the world realized I was right. This is Hitler now. He said, then all the nations will begin a third world war to dethrone America of its rule. Every nation will soon possess atom bombs of their own. It will be the end of the world as we know it. So this is what Hitler believed. This was his vision he saw based on the time he was living in, how he saw things. And he also said, because the white Jews know that the Negroes are the real children of Israel, and to keep America secret, the Jews will blackmail America. Now, focus on that for a minute. The Jews will blackmail America. How do they blackmail America? By keeping a secret. They will extort America. Their plan for world domination won't work if the Negroes know who they were. So they will extort America. Their plan for world domination won't work if the Negroes know who they are. So we got blackmailing America by the Jews going on. And what is the secret? The Negroes don't know who they are. The white citizens of America will be terrified to know that all this time they've been mistreating and discriminating and lynching the children of Israel. They will fear God will destroy them as he destroyed Egypt for doing the same thing. Ain't that something? So the elite, the Illuminati, keeps this a secret at all costs. After I die, what Hitler said, I will one day cause World War III just by the message, which will be like planting a seed in a people's minds until it sprout once they nurture that seed and seek more truth and learn. Hitler was right. I did the world a favor by killing the false Jews before they designated a false state of Israel. But I fear I have failed. The world will fall into the hands of Satan. So what's happening is, this is true. He was not, if he did state this, he was not lying, because the world did fall into the hands of Satan. And I know it is, and I see it because I'm a seer, and I have eyes to see, and I have ears to hear. And this is true. Now, what he saw, I don't know. Whether this statement was true or not, I don't know. But I'll tell you one thing for sure. He wasn't lying. He was not lying. So let me close that out. He wasn't lying at all. Many things in that he was telling the truth. So let's move this out the way for now. Now, let me bring it back. Now, before I go on, Article 2, to back up what, now, I'm going to back up what Hitler says. Now, there's a article from the New York Times that says, now remember, let's go back. Let's go back so you can see what's going on here. Lord, oh Lord, I didn't know it was going to take this long, but it's all good for those who have want to know the truth. Let's open this again. So there's two certain points before I go on. So the blackmailing was one. Let's go back to all this blackmailing stuff that they talk about. The false white Jews in the state of Israel. At why? Let's go. America is desperate in its attempt to win the wars. They will blackmail America. Where is that at? Oh, right here. So the America secret. So they say to keep America secret, the Jews will blackmail America. They will extort America. Now, how is America helping the Jews today? Well, let's close this article and open up the New York Times. The final U.S. finalizes deal. Now, why would America be paying the same people? Check this article out. That was written by a Peter Baker and a Julie Hirschfield Davis. United States finalizes deal to give Israel $38 billion in military aid. Now, why would Hitler make that statement? And why in 2016 we find that they have given Israel 30 or finalized a deal? I don't know if they've already paid them yet, but they're giving them this money or plan to give them this money. Jerusalem, look at that. Jerusalem, the United States has finalized a $38 billion package of military aid for Israel over the next 10 years, the largest of its kind ever. And the two allies plan to sign the agreement on Wednesday, America and Israeli officials said. Did I make any other comments on here? Oh my gosh, do you see that? Why did my, do you see that? Now, the package will provide an average of $3.8 billion a year over the next decade to Israel. Isn't that something? Now, why would Hitler state? Do you see the connection here? Or do anyone else see the connection here? Do you see the connection here? Who do you think the Jews are? Those Israelis. The ones over there. The false Jews. They're Jewish. Kind of like a Jew because they're not real Jews. America's secret. The Jews will blackmail America to keep America's secret. This is why they give them $3.8 billion a year. And their faction or false cover-up to help with military operations. Why would you so-called give them military weapons if you're trying to conquer them? You don't even make sense. You say you're at war with these people. You claim you're going over there to destroy a threat to the world, and you're giving them military weapons. Missile defense systems. Yeah. So I'm just here to make people think or help you to expand your mind and the knowledge. Not to tell you anything that as if I got it all together, because there's so much lost and so much more that needs to be found. I may never find all of it, but I got enough to know that we are living in a world of lies and deception. And I know for sure we are the original people of the earth. Our bloodline. And we are the original people of America. So before we left our home country, We sailed the seas. We went out and discovered new worlds. And America was one of the worlds that we ourselves discovered, which it probably was not even a discovery for us because we probably knew about it already before it broke off. Uh, before the whole earth was divided the way it is. I'm pretty sure we were fully aware of that. Okay, so let me close this. I got a lot going on here. I'm trying so my hardest to share the right knowledge with you. Now let's get back to, oops, my little mouse is everywhere but where I need it to be. Okay. Uh-oh. So, I showed you those two articles. Now, let's hear from another so-called white man. He's a Spanish, though. Spanish white guy. Spanish Caucasoid. Who was a good man, obviously, as well. Now, it was 1952 when President Gamel stated that those were false Jews and that the real Jews were black. Now, in this article, Carlos Cuervo Marquez observations during the 20th century points out that we are Aboriginals to America. We can't ask him either if this is true or not because he died in 1939. But this is what this Pinterest clip or picture says. The Negro type is seen in the most ancient Mexican sculpture. The Negro figure frequently in the most remote traditions of some American pueblos. It is to this race doubtlessly belongs the most ancient skeletons, distinct from the red American race, which have been found in various places from Bolivia to Mexico. It is likely that we repeat America was a Negro continent. This was Carlos Cuervo Marquez who stated this according to this article or this clip that I found. But they tried to hide a lot of information on this man. There's a reason they got rid of him. And that was signed by a BHM, who was the person who was researching this person. And that's where I found this clip. So every time one of the Caucasoids mentioned that the Negro was indigenous people, the Jews, the indigenous or Aboriginals of America, they come up missing or dead. Okay, now ask yourself, why is that? Why bribery? Not this round. They couldn't sell the code of silence or secrecy to these presidents, to President Nasir, Adolf Hitler, Carlos C. Marquez, nor to Malcolm X or Martin Luther King, nor to James Baldwin, not even President Donald Trump, nor Mr. J. Winter Nightwolf, and so on. Some may see things different. It's your choice to choose. But what I see is that these people did not sell their souls to the devil like some may profess. And I'm going to show you. I've already showed you Nasir and Mr. Marquez. Now let me show you all the rest of these names that I mentioned. They did not sell their souls to the devil like people are doing today. Now, a lot of people are spellbound by Satanists or Luciferians and don't even know it because it seems so real to them. Be careful not to look into this this little spiral thing that they use. I can't remember what you call it, but it doesn't matter. But it's a mind controlling technique that they use in everything visual. So behind your TV is something like this. Behind every image is a picture similar to this that is designed to spellbound you. Okay, and the Satanists and Luciferians who have complete mind control over most of the world, if not 99%, probably about 90%, or even more than that, maybe 95. Their medium or their way of mind controlling people is through all radio waves, whether it's music, TV, computers, phones, tablets, etc. Any radio device, whether it's a sound radio or visual radio. These things they control what you think, believe, see, hear, and feel sometimes. Oops, I put too many L's there. These things are destroying people, and people don't even realize it, but this is a time for some of us to do our part to help wake up the world. Now, we already went over that, so I can take that out. So remember, Americans' definition in their Bibles, in their dictionaries state that Americans are applied to the Aboriginals or the copper color races that were found in America by Europeans when they arrived here. But now they have changed it to define. This is why you got to be careful with the English language, because there's full of spells. It's not what it means sometimes, because they have changed the meanings to benefit them and their agenda. Okay, so let's move on. Now that you've heard it from a couple white people, will you accept it from our black man this time? Let's go to that video of Malcolm X.
Aborigines, which means what? Black folks. You never find a white aborigine. Aborigines are called natives, or they're always dark-skinned people. You and I are aborigines, but you don't like to be called an aborigine.
So Malcolm X told our parents we are aborigines, and we still call ourselves black people today. He told us before they killed him, and that's why they killed him. So our good ancestor, Malcolm X, told us the truth. Why didn't our people accept the truth then? Let's just go with the statement that I wrote. Overstanding, you got to overstand, understand, or what you know as understand, which is overstand. Words are spells. The first thing these devils are teaching us is how to spell, how to cast spells. Now let us start realizing what we say and stop putting spells on us, but let's start using the words to break the spells. That's what we should do. We should be using words to break the spells instead of putting spells on ourselves. Let's go into it. Now, Malcolm X told you, what's his name? Carlos Marquez told you. Gamal Nasir told you. Now let's see what James Baldwin said in his time.
This means, in the case of an American Negro, it comes as a great shock to discover that Gary Cooper killing off the Indians when you were rooting for Gary Cooper, that the Indians were you, that the Indians were you, that the Indians were...
Now I got this from Mr. Dan Calloway's page. He got some very deep knowledge to share for those who are interested in the truth. So our people have always been presented with the truth. This is not a new era of awakening. We're not awakening as far as if we have been in a deep sleep. We are awakened to help awaken our people. Now, let's move on. President Donald Trump is hated by white people and many other nations. But there's some things that you just got to look beyond and get to the truth of things. But this is Donald Trump in October 1993 on MSNBC in front of a Native American committee. Now, check out the Native American committee for one. And just listen to what he says. Now let's bring this back so we can get this video. We want to get this video out to you because this is important information that has been lost in the trail of lies.
In Las Vegas and in Atlantic City, tremendous numbers. In fact, two of their largest places. I want to tell you something. You have a long way to go. And for whatever reason, you have a closed mind. I don't know why. Perhaps you could tell me.
No, Mr. Trump, I have a closed mind against evidence that is not substantiated.
Oh, well.
I have a closed mind against statements that are made about other people in generality.
You're going to be very embarrassed in 2 years, sir.
You go on a radio show and you say, now some drunken Indians want to come down here and open a reservation.
I didn't say that, sir. Quote it. I didn't say that. Who said that? Who said that? I'd like an apology right now because I didn't say that.
Imus opened the broadcast, so, excuse me, Mr. Imus said that.
Okay. Could I please have an apology?
You can have an apology.
Thank you, sir.
And then you went on to, is this you discussing Indian blood? We're going to judge people by whether they have Indian blood, whether they're qualified to run a gaming casino or not?
That probably is me, absolutely. Because I'll tell you what, if you look at some of the reservations that you've approved, you, sir, in your great wisdom have approved, I will tell you right now, they don't look like Indians to me. And they don't look like the Indians. Now, maybe we say politically correct or not politically correct. They don't look like Indians to me, and they don't look like Indians to Indians. And a lot of people are laughing at it, and you're telling...
So he was complaining about, in this video, he was in court for not paying taxes for his casino. And I don't blame him for contesting it, because none of us should be paying taxes, to be honest. Especially not the black people in America. Not the Africans who came here from Africa, but the black people who were here already before white people came.
Is this you discussing Indian blood? We're going to judge people by whether they have Indian blood, whether they're qualified to run a gaming casino or not?
That probably is me, absolutely. Because I'll tell you what, if you look at some of the reservations that you've approved, you, sir, in your great wisdom have approved, I will tell you right now, they don't look like Indians to me, and they don't look like the Indians. Now, maybe we say politically correct or not politically correct. They don't look like Indians to me, and they don't look like Indians to Indians.
Now, everybody calling Trump a liar. But he wasn't lying. He was telling the truth. He could be all the races that he want to be. Because if he was a racist, he told the truth. Truth ain't got nothing to do with your personal beliefs and agendas. So that was Donald Trump telling his truth, whether people accepted it or not. Now, that was in 1993. I didn't get the date that this video was created. But there's a Jay Winter Nightwolf who is supposed to be an Indian who told, Farrakhan who we are. When will the melanated or ebonite black people in America realize you are exiled on your own land? And I will explain to you what exile is in a minute. When will you wake up How many more people have to die trying to tell you the truth, trying to wake you up? What will it take? Now let's listen to Mr. Nightwolf and Farrakhan's piece of their conversation. Okay? And like I said, all of this is to, I know that I come from a line of Indians because I was told that when I was a child. And now that I'm older, things have changed. And it makes me wonder why. Oh, sorry. Sorry about that.
If you were to walk into any mosque in America and you just laid your hands on the first person or the third person or the fifth person that you see, you realize that you're laying your hands on a Native American?
I believe
there were only 8% of the slaves that came to America. So how is it that there are so many more people that they claim are black or African American? I think they got the numbers wrong, because a lot of Native Americans are the ones that they're counting as black folks too, as black. So how is it that there are so many more people that they claim are black or African American? I think they got the numbers wrong, because a lot of Native Americans are the ones that they're counting as black folks too, as black.
All right, so you heard it from Mr. Nightwolf. Now, these are not my opinions, and they're not my words. So let's move on. Now, Tuscaloosa news article. Now, what year was this? 2011. So forgive the order that I did everything. I didn't try to go in a timeline order, in a consecutive order. I just put it however I wanted to put it. Now, in a Tuscaloosa news article, Senator of Alabama was in a green track casino, and he labeled a customer that was in there, of African American, so-called African American customer, as a Aborigines, while another Republican was referring to the Aborigine or the black person as an Indian. So these people know who we are. Now, why is it that our own people are lying about who we are now that we're older? When we were children, they would tell us the truth. But now that we're older, what is it that happened between the last 20 years or 10 years or so that has happened to cause our people, the melanated people, the so-called Negro, not the ones who come from other countries, but the ones who were here? Why is our people lying to each other? What happened? What poison did they do to our people to cause this blindness? Now, Mr. Senator, what is Beeson? So this article, first of all, was written by, that I'm going to show you, was written by a Philip Rawls with the Associated Press, and it was posted on June 15, 2011. Or did I put the date wrong? Was it June 16? Oh my gosh, I can't remember if it was June 16. I think it was 16. I don't know why it say 15 on there, because I don't remember putting 15. But I could have made that error on accident. Anyway, let's go into the article. So let me go back and bring this over here so you can see the article. So that article is right here, but not only am I going to show you the article, I'm going to show you the aftermath of it and explain to you. So this was an article. Oops, let's bring this down. So Senator calls green track customer Aborigines in tapes. Wow. In the middle of a probing, he stated that the blacks in there were Aborigines. A senator who recorded conversations for the FBI and Alabama gambling corruption probe called black customers of a gambling hall Aborigines during one conservation he taped. So I don't need to go in depth. If you want to read more about that, actually I can just state this. What he said, he was speaking to, so they were, let's see, a recorded conversation that Republican Senator Beeson of Gardendale had with two other GOP legislators. So I wonder why they put him on the hot plate and not them. But the three of them were joking about economic development in predominantly black Greene County and the customers at one of the country's largest, the county's largest employers, the Green Track Casino in Utah, however they say that. They were saying, that's y'all Indians right here. You see this? That's y'all Indians, said one Republic. But he stated, Mr. Beeson, he said they're Aborigines, but they're not Indians, Beeson replied. But they both were saying what was right. So they know who we are. Why is it that they can say who we are, but we can't accept it when we hear who we are from our own people? Now you see this article, you can go look it up yourself. I'm just giving you points. I'm up to the point kind of person. I try to go in deep details so you can see what's going on, but I'm really to the point because basically we didn't spend too much time with too many details that ain't helping us. So let's get to the points. I'm trying to make it make sense. That's all. Now, here is Mr. Beeson after the fact of stating that the so-called black person is an Aborigine. And I'm almost done. I only meant to spend 30 minutes. I always meant to spend 30 minutes only, but I never get a chance to do 30 minutes only in my videos. Mr. Beeson, I like this right here because this guy, I meant to look up his name, but I sure did not look up his name. But you can look up this as well, the interview that he had with this interviewer, which I don't know his name. Forgive me for that because I like to know, but you could always look it up by the name of the video, so I'll let you know that. So in this interview with the senators, which is the one who called the black people Aborigines, Senator Scott Beeson, after calling African Americans or Negroes the Aboriginals, he later apologizes for calling African American Aborigines. Now, why was he put on the hot seat? Like I said before, why was he the only one out of all these legislators when the other two legislators were not even mentioned. They don't even say their name. Now, why is that? Why is that? Now, listen to this.
When I was reading to prepare for this interview, I was quite surprised to see you use the word Aborigines talking about African Americans.
You know, I've dealt with that issue. I've already, talked publicly about that.
And my purpose here today is to say that I'm very sorry, and I apologize to anyone whose feelings were hurt by my comment.
I've made very, very clear I don't know where that comment comes from.
Well, from your subconscious, from your subconscious.
I've made very, very clear I don't know where that comment comes from.
Well, from your subconscious.
Now, that's very much to the point. And why was he put on the hot seat, though? That's the questionable thing. So I'm going to show this other video. Now, let's see a comment he made, and let's discuss it real quick.
I guess. I mean, it's not even a normal thing anyone would say, even if you meant something in a negative fashion. I don't know if you would pull that out. But for me personally, you can't just close down camp and stop trying to do the things that you think are right. Just because somebody, you may give them an unfortunate bit of ammunition, you still got to continue to fight on and do what's best for the state in the long run. And frankly, it's going to give me the opportunity to talk about things that I may never been able to talk about before.
You mean the bill?
Well, the bill, or talk about race relations issues, things like that. I mean, I have a freedom that a lot of people don't have because of that.
Because you used the word Aborigine.
Because I've been through the fire, and I can talk to people, I can relate to people, I can let them know what kind of person I am, and we can talk about things that sometimes have been a little bit taboo.
So because it allowed you to reach audiences you might not otherwise have reached, do you not regret saying it?
I think it gives me some opportunities. I went and spoke to a group in the city of Birmingham. It was a city councilwoman's community meeting, probably 95% African American. And because of, things that I regret, offhand remark I should not have made.
Using the word Aborigines.
Right, offhand remark I should not have made.
Which you don't want to say.
Yeah, I know better.
Now, you heard him say, I know better. He was on the hot seat. He knows better. What did they do to him? What pressure did they put on him for calling black people in America Aborigines? He was under white privilege, living in his comfortable world, doing whatever the hell he want, feeling free about himself, and slipped up and called our people who they really are, Aborigines of America. Okay, all these southern states and the northern, not just southern Mexico too, is our black people are Aborigines to Mexico as well. Didn't Nightwolf just explain that to you? We were in Mexico and America. So let's move on. Let's move on to a random Caucasian. He's whether he's in government or not, I'm not sure. I grabbed it off someone's video, but it speaks for itself. This is just a random guy stating an opinion.
There's so much unfinished work in this country, and one of the most important things we need to do is repair our relationship with the people that first welcomed us. We need to know that when the Pilgrims and the Puritans arrived in this land, they weren't treated as aliens, they weren't treated as people that needed to be deported, they were treated as the hungry, the people who need to be clothed and fed and housed. And the indigenous people who were here at that time did those things for the newcomers of the world. And that's the basis of the great American story about how we treat immigrants to our country. So thank you for that. We owe you a great debt. We owe you a great debt.
They know who we are. Why don't we know who we are? Well, these last couple of slides that I'm about to show you will explain why we don't know who we are and why everyone else knows who we are. The so-called Negro of America for a couple of generations, meaning a couple of decades, have been exiled from our own land. Like Malcolm X said, we have been, well, not Malcolm X, I'm sorry, what Martin Luther King is going to say in this next slide, is true. What does exiled mean? It means to banish a person from his country or from a particular jurisdiction by authority with a prohibition of return. So you can't return. So to drive away, expel, or transport from one's country. The only difference is we are exiled in our own land. Okay. So let's move on to the next video. Martin Luther King was killed after this speech. So you remember he had that dream, right? And then later on, Malcolm X was killed for the same reason. Yeah, after his speech of calling our people Aborigines. And Martin Luther King was murdered after he said the same thing, that our people, God brought the truth to him, like he brings the truth to all of our people. And these Caucasoids can't bear you as a whole nation of melanite or melanated ebonite Negroids knowing your truth. Our so-called leaders plotted along with the satanic pale parasites to keep our truth secret and hidden from us. America is our land, American Negro. Let's get into it. They owe us more than a reparation. While these, I believe they're Africans, you know, some of our people are kin who out here speaking this power, you know, tripping stuff, talking about reparations. A lot of the people are who's hollering all of that are not even the people who are due those reparations.
The Negro still is not free. 100 years later, the life of the Negro is still sadly crippled by the manacles of segregation and the chains of discrimination. 100 years later, the Negro lives on a lonely island of poverty in the midst of a vast ocean of material prosperity. 100 years later, the Negro is still languished in the corners of American society and finds himself in exile in his own land, and finds himself in exile in his own land, and finds himself in exile in his own land.
Our people are exiled on our own land. This is our land. I mean, how much proof do you need? Why do we need any other proof than the proof from those who have no reason to tell us these things? That's why they wrote all that information in those Bibles. The sleeping giant is within the black people, right in the bosom of the black Negro in America. When or what is it going to take for our people to wake up? Martin Luther King had an interview. So you remember he had that dream that one day the people would be free and all of the good stuff that he thought would happen for our people. Intentions. His intentions were good, and he didn't realize till after he made a deal with the devil. Not intentionally trying to hurt us, but trying to do good for us, not realizing that his choices were going to be the destruction of our people.
These young people are saying that there must be a revolution of values in our country. As Jimmy Baldwin said on one occasion, what advantage is there in being integrated into a burning house?
When you stood on the Lincoln Memorial that day in August '63, and you said, "I had a dream," did that dream envision that you could see a war in Asia preventing the federal government doing for the Negroes, preventing the society doing for the Negroes that which you think had to be done?
No, I didn't envision that then. I must confess that that period was a great period of hope for me. And I'm sure for many others all across the nation, many of the Negroes who had about lost hope, saw a solid decade of progress in the South. And in 1954, which was, 64, 1963, 9 years after the Supreme Court's decision to be in the March on Washington, meant a great deal. It was a high moment, a great watershed moment. But I must confess that that dream that I had that day has at many points turned into a nightmare. But I must confess that that dream that I had that day has at many points turned into a nightmare.
Now, to understand what's going on here in this world, we have to understand the motives. Hiding our history and whitewashing it is the motive. White people want to be so great, or Caucasoids, Caucasians want to have a great history so desperately. They want to be the best at everything because they are actually nothing. But liars, deceivers, violent and murderous, shameless people or beings. This is not to attack them. This is their history. This is their true history. And I'm not going to ever hold my tongue on speaking the truth to make them feel good or any ignorant black person. The truth is right in your face. This was a 19th century Native American, Aboriginal, Aborigine, Indian, whatever you want to call us. We're Aboriginal. We're the first, and we will be the last. And let me show you the video about whitewashing our history.
Whitening of a culture has been going on for thousands of years. Usually, when a land is conquered by a foreign people, the entire look of the people changes over a period of years.
You heard that? That was quick, wasn't it? Let's hear that again.
Whitening of a culture has been going on for thousands of years. Usually, when a land is conquered by a foreign people, the entire look of the people changes over a period of years.
Now, he said the entire look of the people changes over the years. That was a drastic change, right? That was one great change from dark brown to all the way no melanin. Wow. That's interesting. But let's move forward. I've got a couple more slides to go. Now, there was always a plot to white out and rewrite our history. So the last video I just showed you came from Black Entertainment TV, which is a really good place to find some information or to get knowledge where you can do your own research to verify everything that was spoken that they talk about. So this is the plot to destroy our history here.
Refuse to publish any facts of African history that don't go along with our racial theories. Refuse to publish any facts of African history that don't go along with our racial theories.
We need to create a religious and a scientific doctrine so that African slavery won't appear that bad after all.
What we need to do is flood the world with new African histories that contain our European perspectives only.
Start renaming people and places. Replace African names with Arabic and European names. This will disguise their true black identity.
Let's change the criteria for defining race. For example, 1 drop of Negro blood in America makes you a Negro, no matter how light the skin.
Yes, when reporting ancient African history, reverse the standard. No matter how dark the skin, woolly the hair, or thick the lips, you don't have to be a Negro.
When black contribution to civilization is too obvious, let's find a way to attribute it to outside white influences.
When all the ancient historians contradict your theory, we'll just discredit them.
Refuse to publish any facts of African history that don't go along with our racial theories.
Now, you heard it from the horse's mouth, so maybe you'll get some open-minded space to accept the truth of what's really going on. They don't want us to know. They don't want us to know. Why? They don't want us to know the truth because they don't want us to grow. Because truth is light, is wisdom. What we need that leads to right reasoning, which brings unity among our people. And then that will bring us power. And then we will have long life and strength for the years we were supposed to live. Now I'm going to play my song again.
Truth is light, unity, power, life and strength. Truth is light, unity, power, life and strength. They don't want you to know. They don't want us to grow. They don't want you to know. They don't want us to grow. You don't know what we go through just to get the truth out to you. You don't know what people go through just to get this truth out to you. I'm telling you, telling you, telling you, telling you, telling you, I'm telling you, this world don't want us to know this truth. Oh, yeah, yeah. They don't want us to know. They don't want us to grow. Let's grow, let's grow. Yeah, yeah.
Alrighty, my people, sending my love and light. Let's grow. Why? Because we need that truth, which is the light and the wisdom, the reasoning, which brings us unity, power, life, and strength, good health, happiness, joy, laughter, love, all that comes with wisdom. We've got to start doing the right thing amongst each other, not selfishly talking about my own. We were born in a world of people. That shows you that we're supposed to work with other people. You cannot do things on your own. So when people say I do things on my own, you're ignorant. That's because you have been destroyed, or you allowing yourself to be destroyed to the point where, and they've done this to many of our people, and they're still doing it to this very day, at this very moment, July 30th, 2021. And I know, because I don't care what nobody say. I don't need nobody's opinions and nobody's suggestions if you're brainwashed or mind controlled, or you're one of those cockazoids that are a part of the destroying of me and my people. Okay. Now in the Bible it says, take no part in the unfruitful works of darkness, but instead expose them. Ephesians chapter 5 verse 11. So this is why I self-knowledge. I teach myself the keys to achieve your dreams. Teach yourself. Stay woke, my people who are out there delivering the truth. Continue to try to enlighten our people. The road is not a safe road, because why? Our people are involved in this darkness. They have taken part in the unfruitful works of darkness. And they're quicker to destroy you faster than the cockazoid, because of their mind controlled and the brainwashed to love their masters more than their own. Until we break the spell completely, these are the dangers that truthful people face. Total annihilation, total destruction of livelihood, total destruction of the life itself. So until next time, my people, wake up. And those that for those who need to wake up, and for my people who are awakened to the truth, stay woke. I send my love and light. I will always pray for our people's strength and power and deliverance, and the great awakening to just flood through like the masses. We have to start praying for the right things. We need to call upon the universe, or all of our universal power, to bring these devils down and put them back in their right place, if not just totally eradicate them like they're trying to do the world. But I send my love and light. Until next time, 3T's is here to tell you nothing but the truth, sharing her love and knowledge, giving all praises to the Most High, sending honor to all my people out there who's fighting and standing for the truth. You deserve honor.
What advantage is there in being integrated into a burning house?